Hello everyone, God bless you. My name is Stacy. For those who don't know me, I am a business owner, mom, wife, but most importantly, a follower of Christ. Today I wanted to share with you guys 6 different books that have helped me grow my business. One of them is Christian, some of them, or most of them, are secular books, but have tremendously helped my business and its growth. Reading was definitely not something that I was into before marriage. I was very much entertained by social media, and sadly I still am, but reading was just one of those habits that I had lost. And my husband is such a wonderful reader. He reads so much, he has so many books, and just watching him read and watching how it has impacted his life motivated me to start reading as well. And he did give me a wonderful tip that has helped me become a better reader, and that's definitely to find the things that you are interested in currently. It's not just about seeing a cute book on Pinterest and just going with that and buying it because it looks cute or because it's trending, but really identifying those key parts of your life and find books that will help you achieve those goals. So for those people that are believers that have a kingdom business, want to start a kingdom business, these are the books that I've read this year, or last year and this year, that have helped my business tremendously. The first one being The Purple Cow by Seth Godin. And this I stole from my husband. It radically changed my business. And the author goes into a very interesting concept, and that's if you were to go by a field and see like 20 cows and all of a sudden there was a purple cow in the midst of them, your eyes would immediately be drawn to this purple cow because it's so different, it's not common, it's not normal, and there's something about something that's unique that catches the eye. And his concept is that your brand should be the purple cow in your industry. Your brand should look and do things different than the other people that are in your same industry. And one of the quotes that I love is from this book is, your product will only survive in a crowded marketplace if you stop advertising and start innovating. I'm a huge believer in marketing. I love social media, and that's definitely one of my strengths coming into business. I've been doing social media since I was 16. But I did recognize that although my marketing skills were pretty good, my product just wasn't. And I started my business with, doing what I loved and creating things that I liked. But I was in the Christian clothing business, creating t-shirts and crew necks, and I just felt like I wasn't really adding anything to the industry. This book is for the people that feel like that as well, or want to start a business and don't want to feel like that. This book motivated me to really determine, am I making something different? And if not, what do I need to do to change that? I remember that this book impacted me so much that I even stopped my business for a bit, for other reasons as well, but one of the reasons being because I read this book and I just felt honestly convicted. I was like, I'm not creating anything unique, and I stopped selling. I stopped pushing my stuff out there, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna dedicate some time to really pray and really determine, okay, what is it that I'm gonna do? And through prayer, I got the idea of starting to do Christian inspired patterns, and that's when I came out with the Psalms 23 dress. After I came out with that dress, I ended up going viral. The video now has like over 4 million views. It helped my business grow tremendously. It got me so much exposure, all because, one, prayer, duh, but also because I read this book and I came to an understanding that my business has to be a purple cow. It has to create things that are different, that are fun, that are unique in the industry that I'm in. Book number 2 is this beauty right here, probably one of the top 3 books that I read in all my life, and that's a huge compliment. But this is God Runs My Business by the story of R.G. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll just say Latourneau. This is a story that all believers have to read, even if you don't have a business. But this was a man, he lived some time ago, so he was doing business in the 1930s, and his life radically changed because he came to Jesus. He, I believe, was a mechanic at the time, and when he came to Jesus, he just fell in love with Jesus so much that he just wanted to do everything that he could to please God, to please Jesus. And he thought that in order to please God, he was going to have to leave his career and just become a missionary. And his pastor said something. He went to his pastor. He's like, you know what? I'm a mechanic. This is what I love doing, but I just want to please God and I want to live for him. And his pastor said something that changed his life, and it changed my life. And he says, God needs businessmen as much as he needs missionaries. And that should be the basis or the why for every believer that has a business. God needs people in business that have these skills to be able to grow kingdom businesses and fund just the kingdom of God. And this man truly lived a life worthy of looking up to and being inspired by it. And this man was a millionaire. I'm talking about he had millions of dollars in the 1930s. That was back when money was actually money. So right now I feel like he would be equivalent to a billionaire, but he was totally guided by God in everything that he did. Some of the things that really astonished me was that he tithed 90% of his income. So instead of doing the 10%, he kept 10% and tithed 90% and still lived off of millions of dollars. He also funded a lot of evangelists. He had evangelists on his payroll that he would pay and would send out to countries just so they can preach the gospel. And he also had massive services in his business where people would get saved, where people would hear the word of God. Employees that didn't know Jesus would come to Christ. It was literally like revival in business. It's so amazing to read about. I highly recommend. Apart from everything that I just said, he did so many other things, and this is definitely a book that builds your faith and really makes you understand how important it is for us to build kingdom businesses. Another book that has edified, and it doesn't have a cover, but I'll put it here. My daughter ripped it apart. But this is a book called Profit First, and this is a great financial book for business. This simply just talks about diversifying your income. And the concept that he explained was very understandable, and it was that when you sit down to eat a meal and you serve yourself on a big plate, you're gonna eat the whole plate because, well, it was served, and you're gonna end up overeating if the plate is too big. But if you grab a smaller plate and you still serve yourself, you're gonna still eat the whole plate, but you're gonna feel a lot better and you won't overeat. In the same way that if you put all of your money in one bank account, it's gonna be like that big plate and you're gonna overeat it. And he teaches you how to distribute your money into different bank accounts for your business and allocate different percentages of your income for different areas of your business. It's very, very practical. It's something that you can easily apply, and it makes you realize that we do overspend in certain areas of our business because we have everything piled into one account. It helps you organize your finances, and it really benefited me when I read it. Book number 4 is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. And this was a really good book. He goes into the concept of the fact that a lot of people that start a business start because they love to do something. So, you love to do nails, so you start your own nail business. You love to create clothing and design clothing like me, you start your own clothing business. But we go into business with the wrong mentality, and we think that owning a business is just working on our craft. But when we go into business just simply doing our craft, we're going to exhaust ourselves, and we're not going to be able to multiply ourselves to be able to grow our business and have time to actually live our lives. So he says that, he goes into it and warns us about the dangers of starting a business and just doing what you're used to doing at a regular job. Like, this is no longer a regular job. You don't go in and do the same routine. As a business owner, now you have different hats that you have to play. You have to be the administrator, you have to do different things, and this goes over those different roles that we have to play, why they're so important and why they're so key to actually growing your business and not being a slave to it. Book number 5 is a really, really popular one, 1 Million Followers by Brendan Kane. And I truly had like zero expectations for this book. I read it because it was in my husband's library, and I was like, you know what, instead of buying a book, let me just read one that we already have at home. And it really blew my mind because I honestly, I'm a big believer that media changes so fast that it's hard to have books that are up to date. It's hard to go to college and really learn about social media because it changes every day. And this book was written, let me check, it was written, I believe, in 2018. I'll put it on the screen, but I was like, okay, there's no way that this book is gonna have anything useful anymore when social media has changed so much. I don't think even TikTok was a thing when this happened, but it really blew my mind because it had a lot of social media foundations that are still relevant and effective today. And if you don't really have much of experience and understanding on social media, this book, even if you do, it's so refreshing to go over the basics again. A lot of these things, I had an understanding, but I either forgot or just wasn't being mindful to them, and this was such a good refresher. It went over so many things. It opened up my eyes to different details that I was missing when it came to my marketing, and it also brought my eyes or opened up my mindset to Facebook ads, because I was doing organic for all of my business, but this really made me motivated to start, pushing Instagram, Facebook ads, and it was really helpful to do them effectively. It gave a lot of good pointers. And the last book that I'll recommend in this video, books as a Christian woman that I feel like really has helped me grow my business, is this one. And I'm still reading this one. I haven't finished it, but I wanted to share it because I wanted to do this video, and I think it is really good. And it's Be the Go-To by Teresa Lina. And this book is excellent. I feel like the cover, whoever designed this cover absolutely did it, because the cover really just is so accurate to what the book is about. It's simply about differentiating your business, so you're not selling the same thing. And when you, like I said in the beginning, when you have a unique product, it really grows your business. And this goes over why this is so important, and it helps you. It has so many workbooks, which is why it's taking me so long to finish this book, because it asks you so many questions about the foundation of your business, goes into target audience, goes into your mission vision, to ensure that you're looking at these foundations and these pillars of your business and ensuring that even the foundation is unique, it's different, so you could have a lot more growth and a lot more leverage in your industry. This is definitely more for service-based business, but I do think that as a product-based business owner, this really edified and helped me out. So these are the books that I recommend. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope that us as a generation gets more into reading. I just it's so hard, and it's so hard for me sometimes to just put down my phone, because it is so entertaining. It is so fast-paced, and we're so used to just consuming content that's rapidly changing, consuming content that doesn't require your attention. So definitely going from 5-second videos on TikTok to books is tough at first, because now you have to train your attention span to retain far more information. But I do think it's so important, so beneficial. The Bible says that because of lack of knowledge, my people perish. The first fountain of knowledge being obviously, and the most important, the Bible. But also I do believe that there's so many of us that want to do all these things and are created and are destined to do so many great things in God and for the kingdom of God, but we limit ourselves because we limit the amount of knowledge and of education that we even feed ourselves. So I encourage you to pick up the habit of reading. I did. It has transformed my life, and I do hope that if you have a Christian business, a business in general, these books would be of edification to you, because I highly recommend. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.